Good afternoon. My name is Edward Sanshin Oberholtzer. I'm the resident priest here at the Joseph Priestley Zen Sangha in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. We're an affiliate of Empty Moon Zen. The Leonids, one of those annual large meteor showers, seems to have peaked a couple nights ago. It's too cold to spend time in the backyard at night, and I'm more partial to the Perseids, an august display of meteors, a shower that allows me to lie out on a blanket in the backyard on a warm and, hopefully, cloudless summer night with nothing between me and the vastness of space but a thin layer of atmosphere. It's easy to lie there, gazing up at the universe. But sometimes I realize that I can see myself plastered against the surface of the sphere, of the earth, looking not up at the dome of the sky, but down deep, deep into the depths of space, deep down into the all-encompassing, endless darkness of the great expanse of emptiness. And just then, lost in the stars, I notice a small rock jabbing my back. I become aware of the buzzing of a mosquito in my ear. An ant crawls across my ankle. The universe, the vast emptiness, reaches out and flies around my face and lands, stinging the back of my hand. We are stardust. We are all born from the depths of stars. All things come out of the one. There's an old Arthur C. Clarke story of astronauts landing on a scorched planet, circling the remnants of a star gone nova millennia before their arrival. From the looks of it, the planet had had a flourishing civilization, peaceful, filled with art, but burned away when the star exploded. One of the astronauts noted that when the star had gone nova, it would have been observable in Earth's Middle East around the beginning of the Common Era. It would likely have been the Star of Bethlehem, announcing the birth of Christ with the death of that peaceable kingdom. All things come out of the one. To what does the one return? When my daughter applied to colleges, the first place she sent an application to was the University of Chicago. We flew out to Illinois to look the university over. I was particularly taken by the abstract sculpture in front of the neoliberal economics department. The Italian sculptor had so arranged it that every day on May Day, the sun would shine through the complexity of the piece and display the shadow of the hammer and sickle on the ground outside the department. But what really caught my attention was a talk by someone from the admissions office who spoke about the tradition of assigning an essay for the admissions application with what he referred to as unusual questions. The one that stuck out from the year before was, all things return to the one. To what does the one return? Ah yes, Case 45 of the Blue Cliff Record, immortalized in the admissions office of the University of Chicago. I wonder if any prospective students gave an answer as succinct as Zhaozhou's. For the koan doesn't end with the question mark. No, it goes, a monk asked Zhaozhou, the 10,000 dharmas come to one. Where does the one come to? Zhaozhou said, when I was living in the province of Qinzhou, I made a cloth robe. It weighed 7 pounds. I do prefer the University of Chicago's rendition, all things return to the one, to what does the one return? But I'm assuming they omitted Zhaozhou's 7-pound cloth robe so as not to give students hints that would give them a leg up in the admissions process. Now, I've checked out the weather in Xingzhou, and a 7-pound robe would have been a ponderous and possibly too warm acquisition. I made a similar mistake once while living in Oakland. The LL Bean bomber jacket with thinsulate lining, guaranteed to minus 20 degrees, was on sale for $50 less than the uninsulated jacket. I had to wait until I moved to Pennsylvania before I could wear it without suffering from heat prostration. One does wonder about Zhao Zhou's fabric choices. The 10,000 dharmas, all things, come out of and bring forth the one. Layman Pang's daughter knew this. She always seemed to have the last word at family gatherings. The layman was sitting in his thatched cottage one day studying sutras. Difficult, he said, like trying to scatter 10 measures of sesame seed all over a tree. Easy, Mrs. Pang said, like touching your feet to the ground when you get out of bed in the morning. Neither difficult nor easy, Ling Zhao, Pang's daughter, said. On the 100 grass tips, on the 10,000 dharmas, on all things, the great master's meaning. All things return to the one. Lest we think this was only a Zen observation, that great pre-Socratic philosopher Heraclitus, who had anticipated Shunryu Suzuki's famous reduction of Buddhism to 2 words, everything changes, with his own, everything flows. Heraclitus, in the translation by Bertrand Russell, had his own take on the Blue Cliff record, though with a slight reversal. All things come out of the one, and the one out of all things. We might then ask Dogen Zenji to what the one returns, for he famously said, to study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be enlightened by the 10,000 things. To be enlightened by the 10,000 things is to be freed, is to free one's body and mind and those of others. No trace of enlightenment remains, and this traceless enlightenment is continued forever. And so, out of the vast depths of space, of the universe, out of the deep openness of a summer's night sky, out of the depths of countless suns comes the faint, sometimes annoying buzzing of a mosquito. All things return to the one. To what does the one return? A sense of wonder, a disorientation, and a bug bite.